You look at what Elon Musk is doing, AI, robotics, rockets, energy. They all feel like these totally separate companies, right? But what if I told you they're not? What if it's all just one single, massive plan for the future of humanity? Well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to connect the dots using his own words from a recent talk at the World Economic Forum and really uncover this grand vision.
Okay, this quote right here, this is everything. This is the key to understanding Elon Musk. You see, everything he builds, whether it's Tesla or SpaceX, it's all just a tool for this one big goal. So it's not really about selling cars, right? It's about creating a sustainable energy future. And it's not just about, shooting rockets into space. It's about making sure humanity survives. This quote, this is the master key that unlocks the whole thing. So if that's the goal, what exactly is he trying to protect? Well, he has this really powerful way of thinking about it. He describes human consciousness as this tiny, fragile candle, flickering in a massive, dark, empty universe. And for Musk, that little flicker of awareness is so rare, so incredibly precious, that his biggest fear is that it could just go out. His entire mission really is built around protecting that one single flame.
Okay, so how do you protect that candle? You might think the first step is to just, blast off to another planet, but that's not it. The first step in Musk's plan is actually about securing our home base right here. Before we even think about becoming multi-planetary, he says we have to create something he calls sustainable abundance right here on Earth.
What does that even mean, sustainable abundance? Well, Musk sees a future where AI and robotics create just a massive surplus of goods and services, so much so that it completely rewrites how our economy even works. Just try to imagine a world where things like food, housing, healthcare, all those basic needs, they're just not scarce anymore. We're not just talking about being a little more efficient here. This is a total, radical reimagining of society.
And this slide really gets to the heart of his argument. He basically says that as long as our economy depends on people doing all the essential work, we're always going to be stuck in this cycle of scarcity. It's just baked into the system. To truly break free and get to a world of abundance for everybody, he thinks we have to fundamentally shift the economic foundation over to AI and robotics. Now, this isn't some far-off sci-fi thing. We're talking about a lot of robots. How many? Musk imagines a world with billions of them. Yeah, more robots than people. And he doesn't see them as some kind of luxury item. He thinks they'll be as common as, a household appliance, helping with everything from watching your kids and taking care of your pets to, the really important stuff like assisting with our elderly parents. Sounds pretty great, right? An AI-powered utopia? But there's a huge problem. A massive, show-stopping bottleneck that could bring this whole vision to a grinding halt. And if we don't solve it, this future of abundance, well, it just isn't going to happen. So what's the big roadblock? It's not a shortage of computer chips. It's not some crazy software problem we can't crack. Nope. According to Musk, the single biggest thing holding back our AI future is electricity. Just plain old electrical power. We simply do not have enough of it to fuel this revolution. Not even close. We're heading in the wrong direction. And this chart right here, this shows you the crisis in a nutshell. Look at that. The demand for AI compute power is just skyrocketing. It's exponential. But our ability to generate electricity, it's crawling along at this slow, linear pace, maybe 3 or 4% a year. That giant gap between those two lines, that's an energy cliff we're heading straight for, and it's coming up fast.
So, okay, how on earth do you solve a problem that big? For Musk, the answer is actually really simple. It's elegant. You don't mess around with small fixes. You go straight to the source. You tap into the ultimate power plant sitting right in the middle of our solar system.
His logic is, well, it's almost brutally simple. Check this out. The sun makes up 99.8% of all the mass in our solar system. Let that sink in. For all practical purposes, the sun is the solar system. It has basically 100% of the available energy. So it follows that any real long-term solution to our energy problem has to be solar. There's just no other game in town. And here on Earth, the solution is actually surprisingly small. Get this. Musk figures that a square of solar panels, just 100 miles by 100 miles, that's just a tiny speck on the map, stuck in a corner of Nevada or something, that could power the entire United States. So the problem isn't finding the space. The real challenge is making and deploying all those panels at a massive scale.
But powering Earth is just step one. The ultimate solution, the real end game here, is in space. And the plan is just a logical sequence of steps. First, you have to perfect fully reusable rockets. Why? Because that drops the cost of getting to orbit by a factor of 100. It makes going to space cheaper than shipping something by air freight. And once you've done that, that's the game changer. It unlocks the ability to build enormous solar-powered AI data centers up in orbit.
So why go through all the trouble of building in space? Well, the advantages are just staggering. A solar panel up in orbit is 5 times more effective than the same one down on the ground. Think about it. It's getting constant, unfiltered sunlight 24/7. There's no night, no clouds, no seasons. And as a bonus, the vacuum of space is the perfect and totally free cooling system for these huge data centers.
Okay, so we've got limitless energy. AI is creating abundance for everyone. That candle of consciousness should be pretty safe now, right? Well, not quite. There's one last, huge existential threat. Right now, all of our eggs, all of our candles are in one basket, and that basket is planet Earth. If we drop that basket, it's game over. Everything is lost.
And this brings us to the final, critical piece of the whole master plan. This is the real reason SpaceX exists. It's about creating a backup of humanity. Making life multi-planetary isn't just some cool exploration project. It's the ultimate insurance policy. It's how we make sure that if some disaster, any disaster, hits Earth, that little candle of consciousness doesn't get snuffed out for good.
And you know what's crazy? The timeline for all this it's alarmingly short. Musk is predicting that in just a year or two, AI will be smarter than any single human being. And by 2031, that's not far off. He thinks it'll be smarter than all of humanity combined. The urgency here, the need to get ready for this future, it's immense.
So what do we take away from all this? When you're facing a future that's this transformative, this high stakes, Musk's master plan isn't just a business strategy, it's a choice. It's a conscious act of optimism. It's a massive bet that a great future is possible, but only if we actually have the courage to go out and build it. And he kind of leaves us all with this really provocative question. Is it better to be an optimist and be wrong, or a pessimist and be right? Which side are you on?